In San Diego, incomes are going down for the rich and the poor, but the income inequality gap is still rising. UT Business reporter John Horn is here to tell us more. Welcome, John.
Hi, Tristan. Well, the Brookings Institution, which is based in Washington, D.C., last week released a study that touched on income inequality, which is something that we hear quite a bit about in the news. We have a lot of earners at the high end. We have a lot of earners at the low end. It's that middle that's kind of hollowing out that economists say. And so that really hurts our economic recovery, and it really hurts economic chances for advancement for people at the low end of employment. So what they found was that San Diego ranked 35th in income inequality, which means that basically, based on the numbers, that the top 5% of earners in San Diego County make 9 times what the lowest 20% earn on average. So more specifically, $224,000 is the 95th percentile for San Diego, and $25,000 per year in household income is the lower 20th percentile for San Diego. So that really does show that disparity in income inequality.
So come on then, John, why did the incomes go down for the bottom 20%?
Well, the incomes went down largely because middle-class jobs have hollowed out. So when we think about middle-class jobs, we think about manufacturing and we think about construction. So in the Great Recession, we had the housing bust, so nobody built anything. And manufacturing jobs were being offshored for quite some time, and they still are largely today, although some have come back, not in San Diego. So when those jobs go away, if you don't have the background or the skills for something that you can transfer to, you're going to get stuck in a low-paying job such as retail or tourism, and those wages are generally not going to increase. So the problem is the job availability. Now it's gotten better because construction jobs have come back, given that the housing market has come back. We're seeing a lot more apartment buildings and condos being built, so that's creating some jobs there. Manufacturing, though, still down for us.
Okay, now without meaning to confuse our viewers, tell me, why did incomes go down for the top 5%? Because I understand that's the case as well.
That is the case, and economists that I asked about this today were befuddled by it. Basically, the years that we're talking about were 2007 to 2012. So while state data shows that wages at the high end actually went up, what went down were personal investments. So the stock market had a tough time, and that means that your household income went down because your stock prices went down. So think about investments like that, and that's what really took the hit, because everything that we're seeing at the high end is that wages are going up for the top earners.
Right, and just one last very quick question. What can be done to lower the income inequality gap?
Well, I think job creation is key in the middle. So if you think about construction, we're up 10% in construction jobs. We were in 2013. And so as we keep building things and we get people that have those skills, those jobs, you can see something going on about that. There's also the idea to get more education and get those, if you're working in retail or tourism and you want to get a better job, then you can go get trained for the skills that are in demand. And finally, we hear the political debate over raising the minimum wage. That's obviously a contentious issue. I should note that the minimum wage is going up this year in California to $9 an hour, and then I think in 2016 to $10 an hour. So that's also happening at the federal level. Federal contract workers' minimum wage is $10.10, as we saw was signed earlier this month in an executive order by President Obama.
Okay, John Horn, thanks very much for joining us, and you can read more on utsandiego.com.